My alarm went off at 4 a.m. This was not by choice because I am not a morning person. If it were up to me, I would have slept until noon. But the reason I needed to be up so early was because my dad was going to be driving us to Peekskill, New York for a card show on Saturday morning. I had never been to Peekskill. In fact, I had never even heard of Peekskill until my dad said to me, I signed us up for a card show this weekend in Peekskill. I never got a vote, but that's how I became a sports card dealer at the age of 13. For the next 5 years, I was forced to wake up at the crack of dawn when all of my friends were sound asleep in order to set up at a card show all across the Northeast. As a dealer, you tend to handle way more cards than the average collector. I will never forget opening up case after case of Topps, Donruss, and Fleer cards, looking for all the top rookie prospects. I would spend countless hours opening packs and sorting through cards, seeing the same images over and over again. All those images are burned into my memory. The Mark McGwire 1987 Topps, the Greg Jeffries 1988 Donruss, the Ken Griffey Jr. 1989 Upper Deck, and the Frank Thomas 1990 Topps. Every year, a new batch of rookie cards would come out, and every year, I would open cases and sort through cards. New year, new players, new designs. The hobby was utterly crazy back then. Everyone knew about cards, and it wasn't just modern players that people were chasing. It was also the older players, such as Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, Hank Aaron, Ernie Banks, and Roberto Clemente. Hundreds of thousands of people flocked to card shows every single weekend, not just to spend all their money, but to admire the cards and relive their childhoods. People wanted to talk to dealers to share their stories of how they used to put all of these cards in the spokes of their bicycles because no one thought any of these cards would ever be worth money. No one believed owning cards could make you rich. And then the junk wax era happened. And all of a sudden, everyone changed their mindsets. All of a sudden, people started believing that sports cards was a way to get filthy rich. The junk wax era brainwashed people into believing that these cards were not only rare, but extremely valuable. As a result, people stopped caring about the cards and talking to dealers or sharing stories. What is your best price now became the opening line in every single card show. In other words, the joy was gone. What used to be a fun hobby had suddenly become a business, and when you're in business, then it becomes a dog-eat-dog world. And then the hobby crashed. Yeah, all of the cards that people spent all of their money on suddenly stopped being worth money, and sports card went from being cool to being the punchline of a joke. Did you hear the one about the guy who used to collect sports cards? Yes, he collected so many cards that nobody wants that now he uses them for toilet paper. So what actually happened? Greed is what happened. Greed destroyed the hobby. Instead of people collecting cards because they cared about the players or the cards they were buying, they were only buying because someone told them they were worth money. And that's called brainwashing. When someone else tells you something and you don't do the research for yourself, that means you're being brainwashed. And worse, everyone stopped being a collector and started becoming a hoarder, just like me. By the time I was 18 years old, I had accumulated 8 million cards. When you build a PC, you only need one card from each player you want to collect. But when you're a hoarder, you want multiples of each card. I'll keep this one for myself, but I'll save the other ones for later. But later never comes. The truth is you're never going to sell anything. And people that never sell their cards are hoarders. This is what the brainwashing did to people. They turned innocent collectors into hoarders because that's what grows the hobby. If you only need one card for your PC, then you have no reason to buy overly expensive whack boxes, and you have no reason to buy into breaks, and you have no reason to chase after cards. Only hoarders need to chase. This is the brainwashing. So what can you do? The reason I wanted you to pay attention to this video is because the hobby is about to crash again. That's exactly what happened back in 1994, and it's about to happen again. No one believed the hobby would ever go back to being a flea market hobby. No one believed that card values would ever go down again, but that's exactly what happened. From 1994 to 2016, the only people that cared about cards were pure collectors. There were no flippers, there were no breakers, and there were no influencers. The card values were what they were, and they didn't really go up or down. In fact, they were so cheap that most of you would go back in time to 2016 and buy every single one of these cards. But here's the problem. You wouldn't buy just one. No, you've been brainwashed into thinking like a hoarder. I'll keep one for my PC and I'll hold on to the others for later. But like I said, later never comes. If you have multiples of any card right now, you need to sell them immediately. And the reason you need to sell them is because you keep saying this is an investment. You keep claiming that you're a smart investor. Buy low, sell high is what smart investors do. So why aren't you selling high then? The market is hotter today than it has been in years. We had the pandemic boom in 2021, and since then card prices plummeted 80%, and now we're in the best small bull market ever. So how come you're not selling? The truth is you're not holding on to these cards because they are worth money. You're holding on to them because you're a hoarder. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to reject the brainwashing and the manufacturers. I want you to say no to Topps and Bowman and Panini. I see you. I see what you're trying to make me do, and I'm not falling for your brainwashing anymore. I want you to call them out, and then I want you to go through all of your cards. Yes, I want you to look at all of your cards and make a list of all the players you want to keep. Stop worrying about card values. Just make a list of all the players you want in your PC and just keep those players and start selling off the rest. Why are you holding on to these cards? You can't keep saying, I'll sell them in the future, but the future is right now. Buy low, sell high. Well, guess what, folks? This is the high point. If you hold on to your cards, you're going to be the only one holding the bag. The hobby is going to crash when you least expect it to crash, and then what are you going to do? The hobby crashed in 1994, and it took 22 years for the hobby to make a full comeback. Do you really want to wait 22 years for the next comeback? If you want to call yourself a collector, then be a collector. Make a list of all the players you want to keep, and then go through your cards and keep those players. But sell everything else. What are you holding on to these cards for? Fanatics bought Topps in 2022 for $500,000 because Topps was on the verge of bankruptcy. Do you really think that won't happen again? In 2007, Nokia was the #1 manufacturer of cell phones in the world, and today no one has ever heard of Nokia. Why? Because in 2007, Nokia thought the first iPhone could never beat them. Things happen when you least expect them to happen, and this hobby is going to crash when you least expect it to crash. Buy low, sell high. The market is high, so why aren't you selling if you call yourself an investor? Why aren't you selling when the reason you're holding on to these cards is because they are worth money? The cards are worth more money now, so cash in and get your money. But the reason you're not selling is because you don't care about the cards or the players. The reason you're not selling is because you're a hoarder. Topps, Donruss, and Fleer overprinted cards back in the junk wax era. They also pumped the hobby full of so much hype that people got burnt out. And a lot of the cards became so expensive that most people got themselves into trouble. Sound familiar? The same thing is happening right now. The only difference is that you have a chance to save yourself. You have a chance to get rid of all the cards that you don't want to keep before it's too late. The only reason you're holding on to multiples of the same card is because of the brainwashing. You don't need more than one card. Only hoarders hold on to multiples of the same thing. So say no to the brainwashing and say no to hoarding. Make a list of all the players you want to keep in your PC. Then 2, go through all of the cards you have bought over the last several years and hold on to one card and sell the rest. You don't need multiples. I'm not here to trash the modern cards. There are a lot of old men who come on YouTube and like to say, back in my day. That's not me. I like this hobby. I like modern cards and I like modern players. What I don't like is the brainwashing. If you hear one message from this video, let it be this message. You should be in control of this hobby, not the manufacturers. You should be in control of this hobby and not the influencers. You, the collector, not the brainwashers. This is a channel for real sports card collectors and people who want to get into this hobby. This is a channel for people who want to talk about cards and players and sports. This is a channel for you, not the influencers. Some of your cards will go up in value, but that should not be the only reason you hold on to cardboard. Hoping all of your cards will go up in value is a one-way ticket to depression and sadness. That is the brainwashing talking. 1, make a list of all your players you want to keep in your PC. 2, go through all of your cards and keep one of them. 3, start selling off the rest. Every card you own is not going to the moon. Stop praying that it will. Here are 7 cards in my PC that are between 50 cents and $3, and none of these cards are going to the moon. And there is no prayer you can say or mantra you can repeat that will make them go to the moon. Stop letting the influencers control you. Stop letting the manufacturers control you and start taking control back for yourself. This is your hobby, this is your PC, and this is your money. You should hit the subscribe button because I cannot tell you what to do. I cannot influence you. I cannot control you. I cannot make you do anything. All I can do is give you advice, real, raw, and honest advice. You should keep coming back to this channel because you love the hobby and you love to talk about sports, about cards, and about life. This is your channel, free from the influencers and free from the brainwashing. You deserve a free channel. You deserve a free hobby. You deserve a free future where you only hold on to the cards you want to hold on to and you sell everything else. Stop being a hoarder. 1, make a list of all the players you want to keep. 2, go through all your cards and pick one. And 3, start selling off everything else. This is the best time to sell all of your cards. Now is the highest the hobby has been in years. Buy low, sell high. That's what really intelligent investors do. So why aren't you selling high then? Don't wait for the next market crash. That makes 0 sense, and I want you to stop making 0 sense. The brainwashing is telling you to hold on to your cards. The brainwashing is telling you now's the time to load up on more cards. The brainwashing is telling you sell in the future. The future is now. Sell now. Get rid of your multiples now. Don't wait another 6 months and then kick yourself because you should have sold now. Buy low, sell high. The market is at the highest levels it's been in for years. That should tell you something. Another crash is going to come. Prepare yourself now. Only hold on to the cards that you actually want in your PC, the cards that have meaning for you, the cards that you don't care about if they go to 0. Thanks for watching, and if this video helped you in any way, please hit the subscribe button and also share it with someone you know who needs to hear this message as well. This is Doc saying, I'll see you next time.